chunk out.
Style challenge, a hatchback, a city car, a sports car on 1,000 miles of French road in just 4 days. Welcome to a brand new series of Driven.
The new Mini bagged the highest ever score on the Driven 100 last year. Now we're in the Cooper. The true Brit sports car and has been the UK bestseller for the last 4 years. And the Bellissima Alfa Romeo 147 was European Car 1000. 15 grand will see you in a version of any of these 3 style mobiles. But which is the most fun?
To find out, we're going to take all 3 on a 1,500-mile round trip through some of the most physically diverse roads in Europe, France. Which will prove the best to live with?
First, there's a sprint down the Dijon, and an historic Formula 1 circuit. After catching our breath, we're off to the Chateau de Pizet vineyard to Fillet. Finally, on the original Monte Carlo rally route, the event that we'll be covering next week from Monaco.
That's upside down, mate.
Well, it's going to be over this side then.
Right, now about 330 miles down this fast French autoroute to where's it gone? Dijon.
Well, that's about 110 miles per car. There's plenty enough time to get used to them.
Well, yeah, it should be. And that, I reckon, is about halfway to Monte Carlo.
Mega racetrack there. Lovely.
Well, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Cut it away, These 3 cars are supposed to offer the same ride whether at 30 or 100 miles an hour. So a long journey via the French motorway will route out in comfort, roominess and ride. I like the driving position, the back lighting low, great gearbox, I mean,
It's a good driving position and it's comfy, and right now I'm perfectly comfortable, but I think the engine revs so highly.
I just can't get, I feel as if I sat on top of it, I want to get into it. Sports car. The steering wheel's too low, the seat's too hot,
Yeah.
and I can't.
I can fit in the back behind you. There's no way anyone would go behind you, mate. You couldn't have you driving with 4 of us in there.
well, I'm a big
On the team, but even so, I reckon if you took this down...
I'll push it down.
Oh, flipping out, look at that, different hair.
It's a haircut.
Hair. Ah, really, it makes a huge difference. That is actually really good.
Why don't we try one of these new swanky service stations then?
Next service, Rob. Yeah?
Hello.
The motorway services are not as you know them. They're fantastic and they sell food you actually want to eat. It's a matter of pride. French lorry drivers went on strike for a decent 3-course meal.
Oh, that's fantastic. It tastes so fresh.
In fact, the whole motorway driving experience is problem-free.
The reason that these service stations and all the motorways are so good is this. We pay for it. Constantly we pay for the fantastic services.
French motorways are privately run, and you pay for them in tolls. They're fast, but you shouldn't be, as your average speed can be clocked at the toll booth exit. And what's more, you can even pick up an on-the-spot speeding fine.
Finally, we arrive at our first overnight stop in Dijon to get some rest, as tomorrow we'll find out just how well these 3 cars handle on a Formula 1 circuit. I'll tell you what, I didn't have a bad night's sleep last night. It was good, I feel rested, relaxed. The only thing I'm absolutely cacking myself over is it's a bit damp outside and we've got to go and race around the track that you know and I don't.
It's a great track. I used to test there a few years ago.
Did you?
It's good.
That means he knows the circuit.
You know.
I've only been there a couple of times. I haven't been there for a long time.
Yeah, and done 1,000 laps around it.
97 was last time. No, 98 was last time.
Oh, 99, well, do you know it's completely changed now? They go round the other way and everything.
Oh,
yeah. Thank God, we've all got the same chance.
Dijon is not only mustard central, but famous for the historic Grand Prix track 10 miles north of the city. It hosted the French and Swiss Grand Prix in the 1970s, but suffered from being too short. Now it's the home of national championships and GT racing.
Right, day 2, and we brought our 3 cars down to the famous circuit Dijon-Prenois, where we're going to take all 3 cars round for a blast once the crew have finished rigging them.
Now, all these 3 cars have got 1,600 engines, which means their performance is going to be pretty similar. So the only real way to find out what's quickest is a race.
As Jason is familiar with this track, he gets a 20-second handicap.
It says we haven't done the race yet. Well, the quickest round there was Jason. He's the driver of the car.
to put me Let's Get Shot Out of a Cannon helmet on.
How do you think Mike's going to handle it? The way Mike always handles these things, which is like a bull in a china shop, is the only expression that applies. He is quite a competent driver, and the red mist descends the minute he gets his crash helmet on, and as soon as there's a competitive element to it, he just goes mental.
Now this circuit is incredibly greasy, very wet, very slippery, undulating. It's got blind corners. I've got a touring car driver behind me, and I'm in the Mini. I've got a funny feeling that it's just going to be a battle for second place.
Now this car's got the quickest 0 to 60 of 9.3 seconds. However, it's not very powerful. It's only got 110 brake horsepower, and it's the slowest top speed of 112 miles an hour.
My Alpha 147 and Mike's Mini should be fairly evenly matched around here. We've got the same 0 to 60 time of 10.6 seconds. I think I've got slightly more power than him, probably 5 mile horsepower, which isn't going to make a great deal of difference. Both front wheel drive, so Jason, oh crikey, here we go.
2, 1,
Yes, I'm awake first. You've got me, the little monkey.
It's very, very, very dynamic, this little Mini. Breathe on the steering, and then it goes. Come on, car! Come on!
After a 20-second handicap, Jason sets off.
Now this is a rear-wheel drive mid-engine car. It's very wet, it's very slippery around here. I think it's going to be quite difficult to catch these guys up, even though I know where I'm going round here.
Come on, little car. Come on, Alpha. Come on! Oh, I've run out of puff, and Mike's he's going over the cliff. He's going away from me. Oh, I really screwed that one up.
The beauty of this little car is it's very, 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 very chuckable. I mean, you can throw it into corners, and it doesn't seem to care. Wait for the track to come to me. God, it's slippery round here.
Now the turning on this car is quite good, but you have to be very careful with the rear, the back end. It's very lively. It's got no grip at all.
So slippery. It's understeering to the edge of the road. Oh my God! Oh, flipping ABS all over the place.
Come on, we're not going anywhere. Mike's up ahead. I tell you what, I don't think I'm going to win this.
Yay!
Oh no, I'm never going to live this down.
Mike's going to be so pleased with himself.
Good speed, grip and communicative steering from Mike and the Mini Cooper. By far the best handling car on the circuit.
Now a 200-mile marathon to the heart of Burgundy, where we'll be staying at the historic Chateau de Pizé for a second overnight stop.
So after 2 days of hard driving, the Mini is proving to be the most fun. The Alpha is close behind, and the MG still has another 500 or so miles to impress. What about this, eh?
This looks amazing. We never stay in places like this.
No, but this is what we need. 500 odd miles or whatever it is.
For full details of this week's epic trip and the very latest car news, log on to 4car.co.uk.
Fancy a day of fast, furious fun? Then enter our driven competition to win a Lotus driver training experience. All you have to do to go forward to the draw is tell us which of these 3 group test cars is rear-wheel drive. Call 090 1303 1303. The first correct answer chosen at random by computer will win a Lotus driver training experience. It's also the last chance to win the use of a Lotus Elise for a year. Calls cost 50p and lines close at midnight.
Still to come, 500 miles to Monte Carlo, and only the challenging French Alps stand in our way.